everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Elevensies, the late morning show with Lisa and Anton. And I'm Anton.
And that makes me Lisa, I guess.
I guess, by the process of elimination, let me get over to the tube with you here so we can see what's going on.
It's Monday again already.
It is. Apparently.
That seems
Apparently
very
we're
quick.
perfect.
It's Monday again already, and another month has gone by.
I know.
Because we're moving into another sign.
Done. For all you all you fishy types out there, this is look, the people are joining us. If you're joining us, do say hello. I know it takes a while for the gears to engage and all that fun stuff.
They have to wait for YouTube to show them an ad too.
Ads? Oh well.
Ads. Yes.
We've just so commercialised. What are you going to do? All right. Well, good morning, Gilda. I see Gilda has sent us a sunny sunshine thing. It is sunny.
It's actually, I think, above freezing today, and it might get even warmer.
I know. We're okay. But my goodness, the middle of the country, the Midwest and what have you, pushing right down into Texas, they're going to get it cold again. The battle is joined, I tell you. Good morning, Sarah. Thank you for joining us.
And we've had terrible weather in the UK as well.
Oh my God, it's been insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Really, really strong
high
winds.
And in the Channel Islands, we used to go to the Channel Islands for Anton's work.
Yep.
And holy Hector.
You wouldn't want to be there.
I said to him, maybe that's why all the buildings are stone, because they can't blow down as easy in the gale force winds.
Yes, you can imagine the sea was probably breaking over. I mean, Guernsey's only, what is it, 3 miles by 5 miles, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty small rock.
Yeah.
Small rock in the just off of the Bay of Biscay, isn't it, in the Northern Channel? So
the channel between England and France.
Yeah, in the English Channel. So
all right,
hence the Channel Islands, I guess.
I see you titled this, There's Something Fishy.
Something fishy going on. What are we talking about there?
Well, I think we, first we'll say that yesterday, the sun moved into Pisces.
So it did.
Right? So, Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, the last sign of the zodiac, and therefore its natural place is the 12th house. So the 12th house is an interesting bunch of buzzwords. The 12th house is the place of incarceration. Like being held against your will, kind of a thing. In some books, people will talk about it as being jail or hospitalized, things like that. But it's also the house of self-undoing. Because Pisces tends to be this... a
little bit dramatic.
Well, they're dramatic, yes, but they're also great givers. But
true.
then they tend to give so much they have nothing left for themselves, and then they become a little bit resentful. So it's kind of this weird cycle of self-undoing.
Can I apologize in advance to all of my lovely Piscean friends, and I do have quite a few, and I really respect the creativity of Pisces, let me say that.
Oh, yeah, very creative.
They do suffer a little bit from martyr syndrome. By that I mean, tie yourself to the stake, set fire to the bushels beneath your feet, and go, look at me, you buggers, I'm burning!
How did this happen?
How did this happen? I don't know.
No, I think that they do have that tendency to... people perceive them... I'm trying to be very careful. I don't want to offend anyone. They work their ass off on something.
They can do.
And then they need to retreat. So people either see them as a workaholic or lazy. Oh, you stayed up for 72 hours straight to finish whatever it was? And then, oh, you're not coming in for 3 days? So, it's an extremist kind of thing.
They do go from extremes, don't they? They really do, yeah.
Well, we talk about them as being the two fishes. The Pisces glyph is the two fishes. But when you do your research, you find out that it's actually an ancient Egyptian hieroglyph.
Is it now?
For, like the two minds coming together, left and right brain. So when you have those two things, you can absolutely be very creative and very intuitive at the same time, like trend setting in a sense. So Neptune has been in Pisces for a very long time, and it's still only at 22 degrees. So we're going to have Neptune in Pisces for quite some time more. And that is the modern ruler of Pisces. So Neptune in Pisces is very comfortable there. It kind of lends us this intuition and this creativity and
what lies beneath kind of
well,
thing.
it also it gives us a little extra energy for the age of Aquarius, which is that innovation and humanitarian things. So it's saying, okay, I can define what you've created. I can perfect what you've innovated. I can, right? Because when we look at the signs as they go around, each one kind of makes up for what the other one lacks.
Interesting.
Right? But it also announces what's coming. So we know that Aries is going to come, and that's going to be a whole different band of energy.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing that we have right now is Jupiter has moved into Pisces as well. Ooh. Now, Jupiter was the ancient ruler of Pisces.
I see. So it's very expansive sign.
Right. So Jupiter is the great benefic, the great benefactor. And when that's in Pisces, we have another wave of this creativity, problem solving, perfecting, pleasing, right? And they are going to come into what's called conjunction,
Ooh.
Jupiter and Neptune, where two planets act as one.
Conjunction, junction, what's your function?
When we talk about a conjunction in astrology, it's as if these two planets are now visible together, right? They're doing their thing. One is going faster than the other, and then all of a sudden they look like one bright star. So they're two planets acting together, acting as one. And this is going to happen around the end of March, which I'll probably talk about in my March taroscopes. Because Jupiter will reach 21 degrees at the same time that Neptune reaches 23 degrees. So they'll be within 2 degrees of each other. Now, Jupiter moves much quicker than Neptune, so Jupiter will go on to 22, 23, 24, and keep moving away, where Neptune will go much slower. But we are going to have...
Out. It's further out. It takes longer to go around the sun.
We are going to have a conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune. Now, unfortunately, the sun will have moved into Aries by then.
Okay.
So we could say that it was a loose conjunction with the sun, but not really, because the sun would be at much later degree, 28, 29. So, yeah. So the sun won't be conjunct, but we do have Jupiter, Neptune, and Sun all in Pisces right now.
Right.
And then the new moon is going to be in Pisces on the 2nd. So we'll have the two luminaries lighting Jupiter and Neptune. So there
well
is
and truly
something
lit up in Pisces then.
There is something fishy going on. So what I would suggest to you is to use this to your advantage, right? If there was something that you had on the back burner that, like a painting you wanted to finish, or a book you wanted to finish, a creative project, right? And if you are into construction, maybe it's creating a building or renovating a room or redecorating. These are all great kind of Piscean projects.
They are.
So yeah.
I must admit, I got a soft spot for Pisces. I mean, my mum was a Pisces, definitely. I mean, and she's very, very, I think they have an, what's the word? An innate kind of elegance about them.
They do.
I
Yeah,
think,
grace,
yes, I think that's, they're kind of classy. They're very dramatic, bless them. They are
so
very...
is Leo, so you get on with them just fine.
Oh, I always walk straight into it, don't I? but no, they I mean, off the chart creative. I think of all the Pisceans that I know, pretty much every single one of them has got, a ridiculously unfair amount of creativity to them, and I think that's such a good
They're
thing.
the musicians, the artists.
Oh, artists! They're so expressive. They've got a strong interest in the occult as well. I think.
They're water
definitely.
signs. Yeah.
You know, maybe not quite as strong as Scorpio, but
No, Scorpio is
Scorpio's
good.
born for it.
Yeah. And when I describe the water signs, I say that Cancer is that beautiful crystal clear mountain lake where you can walk out up to your neck and make out the details of your toe ring.
If you wear a toe ring.
And that Pisces, the two fishes or the two minds, I'm in two minds about it. Pisces is that river, right? That can either be like a little babbling brook one day or a raging torrent that bursts its banks, you know. So with Pisces, you can go from being their favorite princess to being a pile of poo in a day.
In a matter of moments. But it can all go back again.
Yes, and Scorpio is the ocean. We don't know what's down there. So
and Scorpio, yes. Once Scorpio gets a dislike to you, I think it kind of is permanent.
Yeah.
They're not given for changing their minds much, but there you go.
All right. Now the other interesting thing that we have going on is Aquarius is Saturn is in Aquarius at 17 degrees. So the people who had birthdays towards the beginning week of February are getting Saturn on their sun. And then
was that going to feel sort of like restrictive a little bit?
Yeah.
Difficult
you
to
might
get
not be as
stuff
bright
done.
as you'd like to be.
Yeah.
If you're born in Aquarius, that is. And Uranus is at 11 degrees Taurus. So this is what we would call a weak square because they're both outer planets. So we'll allow that 6 degrees to be still a square, so a weak square. So this, again, the world is feeling this chaos of Uranus, right? Unstoppable force.
Immovable object.
Meeting Saturn, immovable object. So unstoppable force meeting immovable object. And we can kind of see some of this playing out in different parts of the world in different scenarios.
Yeah.
So both are fixed signs, fixed air and fixed earth. And things might get a little tricky unless we can be a little more creative and use that Piscean grace and diplomacy and get things rolling.
Diplomacy is necessary, yes. Yes, but there's no room for naivety either.
No.
I think that's
Pisces is usually quite intelligent, unless they want to ignore something.
Oh, wait,
Right.
whether are none so blind as those who will not see.
Because they have a tendency to just do the big river in Egypt, you know.
Denial. Yes, splash around in denial.
Denial works for me, yeah.
And guys, if you're watching, just smash that like button as well. It helps us, you know.
All right.
Anyway.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is a little bit of a dangerous ground, I think, because, you know, you're not supposed to talk about religion or politics.
We're screwed then.
And
we're a pair of witches who get political all the time. What are you talking about?
And I don't want to make this something that it's not. But I did want to address people because I had said the other night at our full moon gathering that so many people in the United States especially don't really have a handle on grieving.
No.
Right? So
we're not very good at it.
A lot of times we're kind of raised, what's the matter with you? Don't cry, kind of a thing. You got to be strong, stiff upper lip kind of thing. That's
it's quintessentially British, that, isn't it? Just carry on, you know, it doesn't matter, you know. Your ass is on fire,
but I
just
think
put on a happy
what's
face.
happened is if we go and take a little dive into psychology and we look at grief, we're told there are stages of grief. They may very well have to do with the chakras, right? You have to work through the different chakras, like, sadness, anger, why me?
The reality of it all.
And then come down into the reality of it all. Yeah. But I think that as a nation, we've somehow gotten stuck in the anger and resentment
and how?
of this loss, right? So now,
Somebody has to be blamed.
Grief doesn't just have to be about death.
No.
Grief can be about other kinds of loss as well, right? Divorce, losing a long-term job, loss of stability, loss of income, loss of social life.
Oh, that's very important.
Loss of interaction, isolation feels like a loss. And then you get angry with yourself because maybe you're not handling things so well. So there's this kind of cycle that I've seen with people.
Kind of feeds on itself.
Yeah, and I mean, I know quite a lot of what I would call frontline workers who had to stay out there in public. And I also know quite a few medical kind of people that I would call the last line of defense workers, you know. And some of them truly were able to avoid getting COVID by following guidelines and things that were sensible, right? Getting vaccinated, wearing a mask. If they didn't want to get vaccinated, isolating, you know, these kind of things. And I don't want to talk about what I feel is right or anything like that. I don't want to get drug into that. I'm just saying that everybody reacted or responded however best they could, whatever was within them. But I think that now is the time really to remain intelligent about things. We know we're in this Pisces section. We know we're in this healing time. But remember I said that Pisces was also the sign of self-undoing.
Yes.
So Pisces has a connection to the house of health, its opposite sign of Virgo. And where Virgo might be more about healing in the way we're used to thinking about healing, Pisces is kind of the mind, body, spirit healer. So we do have this opportunity, but I think we need to be intelligent about it, right? So if all the mask mandates are lifted and people start coming out and they want to start their healing process, that's fantastic. But you may want to think about large gatherings and considering that and staying masked.
And vulnerable people.
Or vulnerable people, you still don't want to bring, you know, look, the Queen was just diagnosed, so you still don't want to bring diseases to elderly people. Or if you're vulnerable in some way, don't take chances. Continue to wear your mask even if other people aren't, so that you can feel a little more protected. And certainly if you didn't get vaccinated, wear your mask so that you can feel that you're protecting yourself and others. And, you know, like at the shop, we're being very careful. Ulster County has lifted its mask mandate, but we're still asking people to wear their mask to protect the people in the store, but also to protect themselves, because you don't know if someone else has COVID at this point.
Well, that's true, and unfortunately there are those who, you know, who are not community spirited, are not, you know.
Well, they're stuck in the anger part or the resentment part is what I'm saying. So we have to be even more aware, right? So I would love, and I look at the astrology and I think there is a real opportunity here for getting our lives back.
There is.
For getting back to community, for being able to hug people, for, you know, for being able to have small gatherings, and really see people start to heal, which is absolutely what we want.
It is.
But we do want people to still be a little bit careful. I think that if we do our research and look into what's going on, it's not the time to just be frivolous.
Infection rates, you know, and transmission rates,
and be aware of where you're going.
If it continues to drop off, this is good.
Right, and be aware of where you're going. If you're going to go for indoor dining, are you sat right up on top of a whole bunch of people? You know, would it still be better to maybe eat outdoors if it's warm enough where you
It's
are.
getting there.
Or
It's come to spring.
you know.
It's come to spring.
So-
Surely it'll get better.
What I guess what I'm trying to say is we didn't get to where we are these past 3 years. We didn't get where we are overnight.
No.
And we're not going to get out of this overnight. So my concern is that all of the restrictions are lifted and people come out, waving, going, yay, 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 I just can't wait, and they do silly things. So
And the infections spike
and
again.
then
we
we have
wind up
another
with another
variant or
bloody
whatever.
variant that's even harder to
So I'm just
control,
asking
so.
people to please work on healing.
Hey.
Look at the stages of grieving. Look at, what your losses were. Look at your accomplishments during this time. Look at what healing you have already done. Look at how hard you may have worked to continue to have friends and continue to have a life or a job or whatever else it is that you really had to work at during these past really almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a rough go. And then just be smart about it, don't jump in the deep water. Start to wade
Paddle
in.
out. Paddle out.
Wade
Get
in
your
a little
feet
bit.
wet a bit first,
And protect yourself, if you were taking supplements or things like that, continue to take them if you think they're helping you, and just be smart about this healing. But now isn't just the physical body healing. Now we have this mind, body, spirit. Right?
There has to be. It's interesting. I notice I'm wearing a shirt saying "Find Balance" today, and I think that's key. Let me just say some highs to people. Hello, thank you for joining us, Wendy. Particularly welcome to you. Great to hear you doing good. Yeah. So anyway, I think the notifications didn't work, so I edited it, and I think people are actually starting to join us now.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, guys. You can
Scroll
back and watch it all over. Find balance. Find balance is key. I think there is this urge. We've been confined for so long. And it's almost like this insanity, it's almost like everybody's suddenly on spring break and now we want to go nuts. And that's not wise.
Yeah. No,
it's not wise.
I just want to say Sanya? Wednesday night is our free readings.
Yes.
Today is our little.
But we don't mind if you want to
podcasty
throw us a
talk
super
show.
chat.
We're
we'll
not
accept
going
super
to answer
chats all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
we are
we're
not
we're
going to
doing
answer questions today. So sorry. Don't listen to him.
Nobody listens to me. What are you talking about? Nobody does.
No, Wednesday night.
Excuse
Wednesday
me,
night,
I'm
6 to
sorry.
8 is our super chat and free readings. But yeah, so this, people tend to lean towards what I'd call conditioning.
Well,
Right?
that's how we've been taught to behave.
And we get into a pattern where instead of going out, we go home. Right? So we haven't gone out for a coffee with our friends, and we haven't gone out to dinner with our friends, and we haven't gone out to a movie with our friends, and we haven't met somebody for lunch, and we haven't, been social at all. We've been conditioned to be isolated and hermetic.
And cautious of others. Cautious of others.
Hermetized? Yeah. Hermetic would be great.
Hermeticized.
If you
We've been
became,
hermetically sealed.
yeah, exactly. If it would have been great if you got into hermeticism while you were isolated.
Well,
but
yes.
anyway, you'd have a lot more answers.
There's worse things you could have done.
But no, joking apart, humans learn what they live, right? If we touch the stove and we get burned, we don't want to touch the stove because we know we're going to get burned. So we've now got into this habit of going home and getting our pajamas, sitting in front of the TV or whatever else we do, and ignoring life. It's going to be very hard emotionally for some people to learn to go out again, to learn to be social again.
To
be able to
feel remotely comfortable in a social setting.
In a social setting, right? So many people have social anxiety, and this has just put it off the chart.
Yeah. You're right.
They're going to have to learn how to relax in the grocery store again.
Tricky, isn't it?
I
mean, I could never relax in a grocery store anyway.
No, but I'm saying, like,
I know what you mean,
relax around
enjoy
other
the
people,
experience of
enjoy other
shopping.
people, say hello again.
Yeah.
We've kind of been conditioned that everybody else is the enemy.
We're on the back foot.
You know,
Yeah.
don't go near that person. Stay 6 feet away from that person. Don't look at that person. Don't talk to that person. Just go home and get in your pajamas. Don't go to the don't go to a gathering. Don't go to a fundraiser. Don't go to church. Don't go to, you know, don't. So now we're fine. I'm just gonna watch my next binge watch of whatever's on Netflix. So in order to truly reach our healing potential, we kind of have to heal society, don't we? Got to find that balance.
And learn to trust and be nice and be respectful again, I think. Yeah. Just going, I totally with you, Gilbert.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're on the defensive, if that makes sense.
Well, we've been told everybody else could kill you, right? You don't know what their state of COVID is. Mm-hmm. You don't know if they're carrying COVID. You don't know even if they have no symptoms. Everybody else could be the person who kills you. Everybody else is the enemy. Stay 6 feet away. Wow. Not only 6 feet away from everybody else you don't know, which is enough in a social setting, but we've been told only associate with people in your bubble. Well, what about your extended family? Oh, no. What about your circle of friends? Oh, no. We've been trained now for a long time. Anything that happens
a couple of years of negative conditioning.
Right. Anything that happens for more than 7 days becomes a habit.
Could be.
And anything that happens for more than 49 days tends to get ingrained. So we have to reset ourselves to being kind to others, to opening doors for others, to calming our asses down, and
learning to smile again.
Care for others again. It's a huge part of this healing process.
It is, and I'm sorry to bring it up, but there are those that have made great political capital out of a horribly unfortunate situation, and these people really need a boot putting up their arse, to be perfectly honest, because they've turned people against people. There's this huge divide that should never have been there. You know, we are one race. Yep. We are one race on this earth, and you know, there's so much we can do if we looked out for each other. If we took a moment to care for somebody else, you know, rather than just me. What about my rights? What about my rights? Me. What about your effing responsibilities? You know. You know, this planet is fragile and it's screaming out, you know, for attention right now. And we can continue to just exploit all the physical resources and honestly, set fire to the bed in which we're trying to sleep, you know?
Yeah, it's honestly been a very, very difficult time. And for me personally, it was a very difficult time. I was going through a lot of health issues.
Heck yeah.
Saturn return, a lot of restrictions and pressures, and all this is happening at the same time where I feel terribly responsible to our community and trying to make the right decisions for how we're going to move forward and try to keep a curriculum going. It's just been really, really tough go.
I kudos to you for the juggling you did, because
my mindset,
it's not easy, you know?
My mindset is in that place that I was kind of talking about the other day. How do you get through something? Even though you may not ever really get over something, how do you get through it? You have to recognize it first and say, well, this behavior isn't helping me, right? If now I'm getting dressed to go out to enjoy myself, but instead I'm triggered, I hate that word, but anyway, I'm triggered to thinking, I could die if I go out there. Somebody could cough on me. I could get COVID, blah, 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 blah. And we go into that place of trauma. That's not healing. You know, but we still have to be smart about how we go out there.
Fine balance.
Yeah.
Fine balance. You know, to be honest, you could keep yourself in a bubble. You can isolate yourself from everything, and a jet engine could fall off a wing of a plane and come through your house and kill you. You know, so there has to be that balance between what's right for everything.
Well, you take a deep breath for yourself, and you say, if this isn't going to serve me, then I don't need to keep holding on to it. And again, I'm not saying it's like you snap your fingers and COVID is done.
No.
There's going to be this seeding process for healing, nurturing process for healing, the growth process for healing. And we may not see true new normalcy, as they say, until the summer or even the fall, and that's okay. But I believe that now is the time to look at the mind, body, spirit stuff. I want to lose my COVID eating ice cream every day weight.
Well, we were doing all right. We need to get back on our focus. We need to get back on our focus and shed a few more pounds.
I wasn't just saying that for me personally. I was saying, like, what is your list of things that you want to heal? What happened to you, and what mindset did you get in? And what happened with your physical body? And how can you continue to heal, right? Can you heal this bad habit or this mindset that has been overpowering you? Can you get back into a place of less anxiety and social stress? How can you plant your seeds now? The time is right for healing. And as restrictions are lifted, maybe small gatherings to kind of get yourself back into that swing of things.
Well, to plop you back into a place of psychological comfort.
Yeah.
If it scares the bejeebers out of you being around a large gathering, don't do it right away.
Work your way up to it, but the point is to work at it.
Yeah, but realize that being a recluse, being completely isolated from everybody is not healthful. There are very, very few people alive that can genuinely be total loners and, just exist in the forest by themselves.
I know that some people have really enjoyed the ability to not be social, or they have such high pressure jobs that they had to keep functioning in. They really needed that decompression time. But I'm saying, as things come back, try to remember your good life. Try to remember the things that brought you joy, that had maybe been taken away from you, that you've had to grieve about. Try to remember the things that you missed that really brought you peace and balance and coping. And slowly build your way back to a good, healthy life, mind, body, and spirit.
Absolutely. Healthful.
What is Gilda saying?
She's saying, I've started to move my body more. No pressure, just getting moving towards a healthier me. That's exactly right. But, we talk about health. It's not just physical health. Mental and spiritual are just as important, How are you? Check yourself here. How do you feel towards, because the element of people and they will exist in everything. There will always be the drunk drivers. There will always be the people who think it's okay to steal from others. There will always be this element of society. The unfortunate thing is that sometimes those with a political agenda give these people permission to and acts. This is your socially unacceptable lifestyle is acceptable, and it's not. We need to look out for each other. That's key. And I think for me personally, and I'm going to be brutally honest about this, coming to terms with my feelings towards these people who have just effectively flaunted everything, and effectively said, I'm going to do what I want. I don't care. I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm going to go around. I'm going to spread disease all over the place because it's my body, my choice, and sod everybody else.
They didn't isolate. They didn't care.
And you, how dare you restrict my movements? How dare you say what I can and cannot do? This is Murica. These people upset me deeply. This is a moment of perfect, honest transparency. These people upset me deeply. Now, I realise if I carry that around with me, this latent anger thinking, one day these people are going to get their comeuppance, it's me holding on to the damned hot rock. It's me that's going to get burned here. So I've got to learn to reevaluate and realign that
and
mindset.
assess each person's actions individually rather than a group, because they don't all belong to one lumping group.
Because I am just as guilty as everybody else if I take out a big paintbrush and tar everybody with
Exactly.
it. Got all these people. You know, everybody is a story I know nothing about. You know, some people I know a bit of their story, but most people I have no idea. So I'm making huge assumptions there. So I know I've got a lot of work to do to feel comfortable again, you know. But Lisa and I are good at getting the best out of people. So we should look to get the best out of ourselves too. I think we do a good job of inspiring each other.
Now is a great time for healing. And again, I'm not saying rip off your mask, go out there and go to a giant house party or what. I'm not saying be ridiculous. I'm saying now start to respond to the energy that's being offered. You could go to lunch with someone. You could be reasonable and start to take steps towards healing, right? Towards being with people again, towards understanding how to function again, towards letting go of this social anxiety that's, everybody's kind of been into being a hermit. It's not about taking risks. It's not about setting everybody back. It's about being careful. All right, so they've lifted the mask mandate where I live. I don't have to wear a mask, but maybe I will for a few more weeks just to make sure that things are going in the right direction, and don't be shamed by wearing it, because you're protecting yourself and you're protecting other people, and choose the places where you might not wear a mask wisely, and then, again, this didn't happen overnight. It's not going to get better overnight. But I think if we look at it like a planet moving, right? The planet is coming towards. It hits that peak of power, and it's waning. It's moving away, right? So its strength is lessening. And I think we definitely have the virus waning now. So let's continue to be smart and careful, but let's also heal.
There's also a lot more immunity to it now than there ever was.
Well, we're reaching
because
herd immunity.
We've either we've vaccinated and there's also that natural immunity now because of the level of exposure. Unfortunately, thank the gods that Omicron actually turned out to be, although it was like 12 times more infectious, it's nowhere near as serious a disease. So. If this grants immunity for everybody, fantastic. We've got a situation now where COVID becomes endemic.
It feels a little more under control, and that was another thing that, again, as part of this grieving process, things are out of my control. I can't fix this.
900,000 people in this country lost their lives. We must never forget that.
We're closing in on 1 million. Let's say that today, as one of your little exercises, you go and you look up the stages of grief and compare it to how you've dealt with COVID and see kind of where you are and what other healing you could do for mind, body, spirit to get yourself to the next stage and the next stage.
I know I got to work on my anger.
You got to work on anger.
I know that. I know that. I recognize that. This is one of my foibles anyway. As a fire sign, I'm sort of cursed or blessed with that fiery nature.
I have that Aquarian Saturn responsibility thing, and it makes me very frustrated because I can't save the world, and I can't reconcile two completely different viewpoints, right?
Are they almost diametrically opposed? They really are.
You have people that you have been friends with for a long time, or that you had a lot of respect for and maybe still respect them in other ways, that are looking at it saying it's a 6, and then you've got other people saying it's a 9, and there's no way you're going to make one side see the other side's point of view, where usually I can find a balance and get people to say, look, well, this person feels really strongly in this way. Let's compensate that. And this person feels really strongly in this way. Let's compensate that. And let's find the middle ground so that we can...
That resolution of opposition.
Resolution of oppositions, come to a compromise.
You're too right, Gilda. Yeah, we need to get our proverbial together.
Now, talk about a day of compromise. Tomorrow is 2/22/2022.
It's a Tuesday. With the twos.
It's Tuesday.
Oh no, stop it.
Anyway, but 2/2/2/2/2 equals a 3 in numerology, right? Because it's a 12. 6 2s are 12. 1 + 2 is 3, and 3 is the portal energy to bringing resolution.
3 is good. So from 2s you get a 3. Hey, how about that?
Yeah. So tomorrow would be a good day to kind of say, okay, I'm going to make my list of what I need to work on for me. And I'm going to need my list of the creative things that I've had on the back burner that I want to get moving in this energy of Pisces. What are the things I want to resolve differences for? What do I want to bring into a place of manifesting? Right? Tomorrow is a great time to take the restriction that you've been telling yourself, I can't.
You know, we've been doing that. We think about it over what we've been doing the last couple of 3 days. Our focus has definitely shifted to let's clear some of this crap out. Let's deal with this. Let's get it tidy.
Well,
let's get it
better
organized.
too, physically.
Obviously,
recovering from.
You ain't quite right. Yeah, you
No,
gotta be. I have to tell her to whoa, steady.
We've been cleaning and working on stuff. So.
Oh yeah, and it feels good. It feels good to clear out some of the crap, you know, to make things beautiful again, to make things
right. What would make you feel well? What would make you feel well?
That's a good point.
Not just physically feel well, but what would make you have a little peace of mind too? Tomorrow is a great day to get creative and use that energy of Jupiter for abundance and
Absolutely. And you know, there's a wonderful thing. I mean, I will say Pisceans have got that intensity of focus sometimes, and yes, it can be seen as going to extremes, but you know, I the one guy, I believe it's his birthday today, yeah, you joke, you know, he could work 72 hours straight on something without a break because he was that focused.
Right, but instead of celebrating the accomplishment, Pisces tends then to retreat and say, fuck these people
I've killed myself. Look,
I said the F word. I'm really sorry. F these people. They made me work for 72 hours straight. Now I'm not going to go in for a week.
Martyr syndrome.
It's a tough gig. But I do have a soft spot for Pisces.
How could you not?
As the water signs go.
How could you not?
They're usually some sort of amazing, brilliant disaster.
Beautiful disasters they can be.
But no, I do love Pisces because they're really good at being good friends.
Yes.
And caring people.
Yes.
And I do have a soft spot for Pisces. I kind of like Pisces.
You know, there's not many signs I don't like.
Oh, I have a list.
Probably Leo's top of it.
It's very funny because when we go through the zodiac signs, sometimes I'll really like the women of that sign and not the men, and sometimes I'll really like the men of that sign and not the women. But again, that's a very tarring everybody with the same brush.
Oh yes. Isn't astrology tarring people with the same brush?
In a way, but no, you'd have to look at their entire chart, not just their sun sign.
True, but
right?
When we just look at sun signs and we say Pisces is this, we've tarred a lot of people with that brush.
No,
if you think about it.
We've said Pisces the sign,
yes,
but we haven't looked at the rest of that person's chart. We
right.
don't know what else they have. They could be nothing like a Pisces,
well,
which is
true.
why, you know, with Cancer rising and Capricorn moon are very cardinal for a fixed sign.
Yeah, okay. That also means I cry at chick flicks, I suppose.
Yeah, so you have to
and
look
I
at
have
the
a
whole
very
picture.
practical problem-solving
But I'm
approach to
talking now.
emotions.
My talk today was not necessarily to be about Piscean people,
Right,
as
right.
it was to be about what's
The
being
energies
offered.
of Pisces, indeed,
Right.
yes.
Because we have Sun in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces. So we have the two rulers
Yes.
of that Piscean sun sign. So we have like a triple dose of Pisces.
It's all fun, isn't it?
Get creative. All right, card of the day.
Card of the week.
Card of the week, sorry.
Love it.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Now, oddly enough, you will have seen, because tomorrow we're going to put the second one up. Ha ha ha.
Tomorrow
'cause
goes up the Magician, eh?
The Magician. So if you haven't yet checked out Tarot Talk, subtle plug, please do. This is where we're going to be working our way through the entire deck of cards, and curiously enough, we had the Fool. So it's a great time to make a leap of faith today, I think. A great time to just go for it and realise that the most important things in life simply aren't things, and that, you know, how you feel is key. You know, the Fool is without doubt the wisest one in the deck. It's us that get all wound up. Oh, come away, you idiot! You're gonna fall. You know, you're gonna plummet to your death. No, don't work like that. Descend he must. That is the way. But the descent is assured, and he'll learn to fly or have a perfect landing. So yeah.
So your reading is have faith?
Have faith and just do it. Do it anyway. Take that Nike thing, you know, do it. You know, pondering it, thinking about it, it's all good. Ultimately, action has to be made. So.
All right. So my advice for everyone for the week with this card is recognize your experiences. You got that feather in your cap. Recognize your experiences. Take inventory of what's in your little pack. And use that experience and knowledge and tools that are in your pack to put your best foot forward. Have faith.
Have faith. And just do it. Just bloody do it. It's all right. All right, so that's us for today.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh, please do. Check out, we may do a premiere tomorrow. We might throw up. We'll have to figure out when's the best time. I'm not sure 11 is the best time. We'll have to figure the best time to put out Tarot Talk.
In the evenings.
We should
It's
do a
probably an
premiere.
evening
We
thing.
could do a premiere. Maybe we'll do that. We'll pick a time. Maybe, yeah. Well, think about that. But yeah. So yeah. Keep your eyes open for that coming tomorrow. And don't forget on Wednesday we have our give back, and if you're still watching us, Sonia, that's when you can chime in.
Yep.
And by all means, throw us a super
Wednesday
chat.
night, 6 to 8 p.m.
We'll do your more
roughly.
detailed reading. So, yep, 6 to 8, there or thereabouts. Definitely, we try to start at 6. So, yeah, join us for that. And that's us. So, thank you so very much for taking the
We
time
got
to watch.
loads of work to do.
Oh,
I've
haven't
got
we
our
just?
beautiful Age of Aquarius candle for healing and helping people. I'm going to put that out now.
I
Thank
love that.
you
You know
all.
when that's lit, that's almost got that really, well, it was almost like purpley Piscean kind of colour to it today, even though it's definitely blue. Love it. All right, thank you so
you all
much
very
for
much.
watching. Have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful, wonderful day. Be blessed and blessed
Peace,
be.
blessed be.